Those animals will eat anything.
I don't know. Have you tried throwing your cooking out? This is going to be a quick little video today to discuss how to keep the animals out of your garden. 2 years ago, I decided to myself, you need a tomato plant. And I planted this beautiful plant and I nurtured it and it got big and it had tomatoes. And then one day I came out and a raccoon or some other piece of wildlife had stolen or destroyed every single one of them. So this year we planted another tomato plant and I decided to see what I could do to help hopefully let it survive a little bit longer. The decision that we went with, as you see here, was chicken wire. I've seen a lot of different things out there, different ways that people suggest, and long story short, this was the cheapest thing I could get at the time. So I went ahead and got this. And I just kind of wanted to give you an idea of the pros and cons that I ran into with choosing this option. And in fact, I'm going to go ahead and sort of spoiler alert, will I ever use chicken wire again? No, I will not. And here's why. First, this is a very stiff wire, so when it came to trying to roll it out on the deck, it took me a lot of fighting with it. On top of that, there are a ton of these little metal fingers that you really can't easily get rid of, and when you want to try to wrap it around, they kind of get caught and they snag, they catch you and everything else. It makes taking it off very much a pain. And with all the small little openings and sort of the roughness of this wire, if I tried sliding it up, it kind of wanted to damage the leaves. And because of the way it's sort of, even after I kind of bent it, it's still wrapped around this thing very tightly. I did not like the way it worked overall. Now, having said that, I actually have my first tomato this year. It did do the job of keeping all the animals away that actually mattered. So yes, it did actually do the job, and it did it fairly cheaply. I do want to try a different type of wire next year that I think will be easier to work with, something that's still small enough to keep the animals out that I have to worry about, but big enough and sturdy enough that it can be self-standing. I may be able to kind of make it a little bit bigger than the pot maybe.
Next year we're hoping to not put it in a pot.
True. Depending upon how money works out, I'm hoping to next year actually have some beds. I don't know how the money's going to shake out. Things are kind of tight with the whole world economy and inflation and everything else right now. So my goal of trying to do that may or may not fall apart.
But if anybody wants to donate towards the project, we have a Koji page linked in the description.
If some rich person out there wants to make us happy, yes, I will be more than happy to take any donations toward actually putting in some above ground plant beds.
This is our first time getting a tomato from dirt to mouth.
So what you're saying, you want to see the clipping of the tomato? So I guess this is probably as good of a time as any.
Oh, you're not going to just pull this off for...
I mean, well, like I said, it's kind of a pain in the butt to pull off. So I'm going to go ahead and remove this wire now. And that'll give you a little bit of an idea of what it's like for me trying to get this off without damaging it as the plant has sort of kind of grown. And you can see where the leaves have kind of started to grow into this a little bit here. Let's see how easily we can get this off. Yeah. But yes, it keeps wanting to just roll right back up. No matter how flat I can get it on the ground, it seems to want to just pick itself back up. Ugh. Stay right there. It just keeps wanting to roll itself right back up. As you see here, this is a Better Bush hybrid. The reason we chose this was it said it was great for containers, and we were doing a container plant. All that really means is that it is a determinate tomato that will grow a certain size and stop. From a tomato per plant perspective, as you can see, so far this plant has been very successful. Now these are not big tomatoes, they're kind of small, but for a first test, it seems to have worked out well for us. So let's go ahead and cut off our first tomato. Ta-da! Wow. Yeah, it'll probably still need to ripen on the counter, maybe another day. So we'll leave it sitting out on the counter just a little while longer, and then we'll cut it open and see.
I can't believe it only has like a couple
Yeah, this
cracks.
comes from watering. I've done my best. We've watered this thing every day, but really to make it perfect, you almost need an irrigation system that is applying a little bit of water constantly, because tomatoes, especially in a pot, it's really going to suck up a lot of water. And anytime it has what it determines to be a cycle of no water, more water, it's going to have that happen.
Look at this one. This one does not have any cracks yet.
Yeah.
You've done really well at watering.
Mm-hmm. So now let me go ahead and try to fight this wire, get it wrapped back around here and pushed back into the corner.
Because we don't want our squirrels eating all these tomatoes. We also didn't think that we'd actually get any tomato plants.
What? You thought I was going to be unsuccessful?
I did.
You thought I was going to fail?
I did.
And yes, this is potting soil, not garden soil. And I'm about to put a garden plant in it. But guess what? I don't care.
Look, last time, squirrels, raccoons.
Hey, those must have been some damn good tomatoes, because those animals loved them.
Those animals will eat anything.
I don't know. Have you tried throwing your cooking out?
Not amused.
That is it for today's video. Like I said, it was just a quick thing kind of showing what we used to keep the animals off of our tomato bush this year. It worked, but I'm not really ecstatic about it, and I will probably try something again next year when it comes to fending off the animals in the garden. Hope you found this useful. If so, yeah, do the usual social media type thingies, and we hope to catch you on the next one. Have a good one.
Solving problems one project at a time. He really wants to eat that tomato even though it needs to ripe some more.
Yeah, it's ripening a little more first. When it's a baby one too, it's like it probably won't be as good as that other one's going to be.
From dirt to mouth.